everyone, just checking in. I forgot to do a video yesterday, and so today I'm sort of making it up for that lost video not done yesterday. Today I want to talk about something that I have been really believing in for a long time and telling others to do as well, and really not taking the action myself and doing what I would preach to others when it comes to financial literacy, or when it comes to investing, or when it comes to learning about how to invest correctly and appropriately. And that is to downsize your family home. And what I mean by that is that I have recently downsized. I've sold a 4-bedroomed, 3-bathroomed house. It could park 6 cars. It was in a brilliant area here in Newcastle. So it was an area that was sort of notoriously known for going up in value, but also it was very close to a hospital. I think for some of you that's been following my journey have seen me buy this house, renovate this house, and turn the downstairs area into a self-contained apartment. And that was predominantly for my daughter initially. And then it was a bit of a backup plan. It was a bit of a contingency as well. When I wanted a marketing budget, I actually rented out the downstairs to a doctor because it was so close to the hospital. Now, as a result of it being so close to the hospital, it meant that it was desirable. It was a desirable house in a desirable neighborhood. And so I made a very bold decision, and that was to sell that house. I actually put it onto the market the previous year, but didn't really sell it. And I think it was a result of not wanting to detach myself from it. And even though I'd made a decision the previous year, I don't think it was a heartfelt or intentional decision to sell. This year it's been on the market. It sold Easter, and as a result of it selling, I've downsized completely. So my daughter now, Emily, is down in Sydney, so she's made that move out of home, and as of 2 days ago has a full-time position in what she loves doing, and that's science teaching. And so knowing that she is full-time permanent now in that role, it means that I have to make decisions about what I want to do with my future now, and sort of not make as many provisions there for her. And so, you know, by not making those provisions, it means that I don't need a big, massive 4-bedroomed, 3-bathroomed house that parks 6 cars. I have made a decision to rent initially, and renting where I want to live and with a smaller footprint. And in all honesty, it actually is more economical to do that with the tax advantages than it is to actually own a home and have all the expenses that go with owning a 4-bedroomed home. So I've made a very practical decision, and initially it felt a little uncomfortable to do that because I've been a homeowner forever. And as well as a homeowner, I have investment properties. So I've always said that if you have investment properties, rentals, you can rent out or go and rent yourself in the place that you want to live. Because what happens is the income that comes in from those investment properties can actually subsidize that rent, or can pay that rent, and you can have a lifestyle and make choices about where you want to live. So I boldly made that decision this year to sell the 4-bedroom house, sort of give up that status and strip that away, and make that decision to actually rent in a smaller footprint. And by doing so, it's much more economical. Like I said, you get all your tax deductions with that as well. And it is, Jill, it's a massive shift. For me, because there's a psychological stance that comes with being a homeowner, okay, and being a tenant. And I'm sort of discovering that as I move into this path. It's freeing, it's quite freeing, and what's interesting is you actually have more independence because I can make a decision to up and leave when I want, and I can make a decision. I don't have the emphasis anymore on maintenance on a 4-bedroomed house with a swimming pool that was driving me nuts. It was really driving me mad. With the tree that was next door, it was an everyday job. And it was absolutely driving me nuts. But a swimming pool, the maintenance that came with gardens as well, done, like gotten rid of, and it just feels so enlightening and freeing. So this is, I'm actually living the lesson. I'm actually living what I preach, not preach, what I teach to others, and that is to live where you want to rent where you want to live, and to have investment properties where you're going to get your return on your investment, and that's what I'm doing right now. So what's brilliant about that is that now I'm free and flexible, and I can so I'm doing contract work, right? Contract work number one, I took that up to give me that freedom and flexibility, and to be able to do what I like when I like. And the second decision was to sell a massive house, to actually downsize and to rent from someone so that I can make a decision to say up and go and do whatever, whenever. So that's huge, massive shifts. This should be on my other page too, actually. I might have to download this video and put it up onto my public page, because I think it is a huge lesson and learning for a lot of people out of this, is that do we hang on to the status of living in a prestigious area with a 4-bedroomed house with all the trappings, or do we choose lifestyle and downsize? And in my case, I pulled out the equity from the home, and that's going into rentals. It's going into investment properties, and it's again to create a lifestyle that I want. I'm 50, and I want the next 10 years to be planning and doing the lifestyle more, to be able to enrich that more. So that's been the decision. Now there's been a bit of a new chapter on the back of this that's opened up, and what I might do is, I don't know whether I save that to the video tomorrow, because there's something interesting that's unfolded with respect to even this rental 8 weeks into doing this, or 6 weeks, 8 weeks into doing this. There's an incredible development with respect to what I've done here, and it's all lining me up. It's the universe really delivering strongly and very quickly. And what's interesting is that before, I don't know, maybe 2 years ago, maybe 12 months ago, I would have actually looked at this development and thought it was a huge challenge, right? I would have been pissed off, right, at this development. And this development is a huge change again. However, I'm actually looking at it from a completely different angle, because I know how the law of attraction works, and because I know things are lined up in the order it is supposed to. There is something again that's happening that's actually directing me. It's actually unfolding as I had expected it to, because I have been saying for the last few months now, I'm going with the flow. What will unfold will unfold. I have the power of the universe on my side, and it's revealing huge contrast for me, and that huge contrast is showing the path. It's just unfolding. It's quite brilliant. In any other, and I'll reveal it now. I may as well reveal it now. The owner of this property that I'm in right now has actually phoned the real estate agent. They've had long discussions about wanting to move back in. They want to move back in. I've been in here 6 weeks, 6 to 8 weeks. You know, you pay for removalists, you pack your gear up. It was very stressful for me with respect to doing this for the first time, actually going into a rented property. And I'm here and I'm settled and I've still got boxes packed. 6 to 8 weeks in, the landlord or the owner has said, we want to move back in. Is there anything that we can do to make that happen? So I was like shocked. I got that phone call today. I said, you have to be kidding me. Seriously? So what's this all about? Definitely something. It's definitely something. It's sort of forcing me to to actually move on from this property in such a very short period of time, because there is a lease in place. So they have a contractual obligation to actually keep me in this property. However, they're sort of offering recompense, or they're offering a way for me to sort of move out of here. So I've just sort of said to the agent that, okay, if there's recompense, yes, pay for my removalist and whatever. And I'm actually not, it's only happened today, and I'm actually not too troubled about it, surprisingly, really surprisingly, because there is just lessons and something to be learned out of what's going on here, and other horizons are unfolding, and it just means that this is not permanent, and that's a great thing. So there's no permanency with anything, but more so, no permanency if you want to move with what's being delivered. In other words, if the law of attraction is doing what it's doing, which it does every day, all the time, and you are attracting what you want to attract, you've actually got to go with it. All right, you've got to sort of go with the contrast, go with that change, take action on the stuff that gets presented to you. So it was presented to me. So I will be taking some action. I've actually said, yeah, okay, so if they can recompense the $2,500 that it costs to actually get my stuff here, then it's something I will consider. So we'll see. There'll be some sort of results out of this. We'll see what happens. I'm in a good place with what I'm attracting, manifesting, because I'm much more aware now of how things get manifested, and much more aware of the contrast has been delivered, something that you don't like. However, what do I like? Yes, the move is meant to be, all will unfold as it should, Jill, I know. And that's the mentality, the philosophy, and the mindset that I've been working with now, more so, I think, in the last 6 months since I've been transitioning. And that transition has been as a result of lots of life changes, my family, my dad having that major stroke, my daughter moving out of home and really creating a new life. Everything that I've ever done really has been for Emily, and still I do for Emily. But it's just changed. It's just different. And my life now as a result is changing. It's very different. And that's been the last 12-month adjustment that I've been making, is to know that she's grown up and going away and creating her own life. And I need to continue on my journey in the direction that I need to do as well. So some really powerful stuff happening. I've got Charlotte. I'm heading off to Charlotte in 2 weeks' time. This is all perfectly lined up for that. I don't know what the result's going to be if they come back and say, well, yeah, they're going to pay for you to go. Okay, right. I've got to do that before I go to America. I'm in America for 2 months, and yeah, so for my business over there. And so, I don't know, just go with it, right, Jill? So yeah, we'll see what happens. I know this is a long video. I wasn't going to actually talk about that whole thing today about the development, but I think that was really important. But also more importantly is I am doing what I teach now completely and wholeheartedly, and downsizing, that whole downsizing, and living where, like, so renting, I keep saying renting where you want to live. So you have that freedom and flexibility to up and leave and do and change and do whatever. And also investing and having rentals where you can get the most efficiency or the most productivity. So in my case, I'm living here in Australia, and my rentals, most of them are in America, and so you couldn't get far further apart than that. But I'm renting and I'm investing where the returns are, and I am renting where I want to live, so I can do whatever, whenever, and I'm not actually tied to a house. That might change, I don't know, in the future when I sort of feel like I want to settle down a little bit. Who knows? We'll just see what the path unfolds and what's out there for me. So goosebumps, but all will work out for you in the I know, Jill, highest good, right? And this is all meant to serve. I came on, I pressed this button. I had no idea what I was going to talk about. There we go. It's just a lesson. See, I didn't turn it on yesterday because I thought I have nothing in the tank. How many times do we do this? Nothing in the tank. And then you get on here and then all of a sudden everything unfolds. There's heaps that happen today. and all in alignment with my future direction. And so I will tap in again tomorrow and share more information, and I'll re-listen to this to see if this is worth putting on my public page, because, you know, they're all good lessons, aren't they? Lessons learned. Yeah, so anyway, good luck to everyone and love you all. And Jill, thanks for joining me on this conversation. And tap in again. So Jason, no permanency. I like it. Good on you, Trish. Go with the flow. That's it. Big lessons, big learning. Downsize if you have to. Strip away all the material stuff. And I say that from a sense of be smart and wise about that. Strip it away in respect to what you're hanging on to and what you're living with and what you're doing. Because another thing too, as a result of this, is I'm stripping away the material stuff. That move from a 4-bedroom, 3-bathroomed house, you strip away all the stuff you don't need. It's just incredible what you do. Tip, Salvation Army, giveaways, garage sales, whatever it is, you strip it away. And then you also, again, it could be another stripping away process to sort of remove that stuff that I really don't need. You're forced into a position to actually strip it all away. So it's good stuff. And thanks, Jason, for listening too. Good to see you here. And off we go. We'll check in again tomorrow and just see what more progress is happening. Bye, everyone.